Found out if he came right up the middle through the 5-hole with that left uppercut, he was going to be able to stop McGee one way or the other. Lucien Bute, certainly one of the best super middleweights in the world. But again, if you look at the resume and you put aside the fact he's very popular, he's a great draw, and Lucien Bute has a great story, on resume, and this is what you got to go by, on the black and white resume on BoxRec, I have to tell you, there's a lot less Brian McGee's recently on the resume of Carl Froch. And I think right now, if you say who's the best super middleweight in the world based on what they've accomplished, it is not Lucien Bute who's the most popular. Right. There's a big difference. I think the best guy right now is the Cobra.
It's got to be the Cobra or Andre Ward.
You're
right. We're going to find out between the two of them who's the best. But Bute, he sells a lot of tickets. He's very popular, and he's clearly a skilled guy. But he's feeling a little more like Sven Bute to me.
Yeah,
a little Sven Otke going on there. And I don't blame him. Somebody was criticizing him I was watching the fight with, and saying, wondering why he wasn't in the Super 6. I'm like, well, because it was a smart business move. When you can sit up in Canada and make a ton of money, fill up the place, be treated like a rock star. You got girls dancing on poles during your fight, and still make a lot of money, winning. Why not? Why run that gauntlet? And when you know that you're going to probably get the winner because you're the prettiest girl in town once that tournament's over. So to me, I think it was a very smart move by him. But at the same time, we're going to wonder. We're going to find out who he is when he steps up in that class.
Well, Showtime signed him to a much ballyhooed 3-fight deal. Around $2 million a fight piece is the license fee. Now you go to McGee, and obviously the pot at the end of the rainbow is very simple. The Super 6 winner, whoever that's going to be. Seems to me the guy in the middle that's going to be that stale sandwich is Mikkel Kessler, because there's no doubt in my mind, if you're setting up press meetings for Mikkel Kessler with the media at the Bell Center, he's showcased all over on the broadcast next to Al Bernstein and the like. I don't think there's any doubt it is going to be Kessler facing Bute next. And you know what? That's not a bad-looking fight. That's actually a fight that I think is far superior than a lot of other names out there, and certainly 2 or 3 echelons above a Brian McGee.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that eye's doing. Apparently it's healed up and he's ready to go. But that's we have to remember that he's coming off a win.
Yeah.
Kessler had a very tough fight and gave Carl Froch all he could handle and more. So yeah, I think that's a great fight, and it kind of is a nice bridge towards those fights with the winner of the Super 6. So to me, yeah, there's really no mystery there. You put that guy ringside, and I got to say that, how smart is Showtime? That on the other side, we got HBO making a 3-fight deal with Bernard Hopkins, who's 75 years old. And these guys got in the business of Bute because they knew that when the Super 6 was over, if Bute was sitting out there as a free agent, HBO would have just taken the winner of the Super 6 and Bute and made that match and kind of, reaped the benefits of all their work. But they locked him down and they set it up, and it's a clear course. You look at them, and they're building towards something. Imagine that, a network covering boxing building towards something.
Yeah, another thing I want to mention is Inner Box, is the show that they put on. Now, Bute McGee, putting a great show around that in terms of the entrances, the pyrotechnics, the lighting, the lasers, the go-go dancing girls. Is it putting lipstick on a pig? Absolutely. But you know what? I give people that actually put on the lipstick a little bit of credit. It's a night of entertainment, and while this fight to me was like a 10-to-1 fight, don't you think every single person inside that Bell Center went home and said, you know what? We got ourselves a great show. There's a certain theater to this sport that is missing in this country that a lot of other promoters, save Top Rank, are sorely lacking. In other words, Gabe, they don't spend money to make money, and the last thing they actually do is get this promote.
Yeah, you got no complaints here. Girls on poles, more than just the ring card girls, more of that. That's great. You look at the shows in America, and particularly
bland.
Yeah, just bland. Same old thing. Just ring card girl kind of comes out half interested. She goes out. We wait 30 minutes in between fights. They don't really. You always mention this. They don't care about the in-house experience.
Yeah, and these people are paying. Here's the thing that gets me is when the television audience. Like, I heard a lot of complaining over the Nelly entrance for Pacquiao Margarito, that I didn't pay to see a concert. Listen, with all due respect, folks, you may have paid at most $65. The people inside Dallas, some of them paid thousands of dollars, and none of them complained.
They still had to see Nelly, though.
Yeah, but that's okay, but that's not the point. If we lose the foundation of people actually having a good time, live and in person,
right,
inside that venue, guess what, folks? There's going to come a point in time where it's going to be like the Southern Wrestling Circuit, where you're going to get matches in television studios in front of 15 people. And at that point, that is when boxing is dead. But you look at Europe, we're going to discuss some of these other fights later. They have huge crowds, but you know what? They also dress up the show, Gabe. That is a factor. It's not just about the fight anymore.
No, absolutely. You know, I think Golden Boy kind of is starting to get it, and Top Rank certainly is starting to get it. I think Golden Boy needs to change bands. I don't know, you know, the Canelo fight, they had like this.
You got to play to your audience, Gabe.
Yeah,
it's the demographic.
Yeah, they blow out their ears at the same time. But you know, it was like some sort of Mexican boy band that was blowing my head off with the speakers like right behind us. But you're right, they did. They played to their audience. That whole crowd loved that music. It kind of tamed them in a sense. But you know, I think we're getting closer and closer to kind of understanding it. But we're not quite there. I mean, looking at particularly the Europe card that we'll get to in a second, we're kind of light years behind them.